disposals in that first quarter. Dunkley with 6, the son of Andrew Dunkley, of course, and I've loved the work of Archie up forward with 5 disposals.
Yeah, when you just have a quick look at the Allies, they've only had the 6 inside 50s for 4 scores, so they've been pretty efficient. Heaney 5, Cockatoo's been very good with 8, Coghlan up forward with 4 possessions and a goal, Hislop and Dawson 6 possessions each.
So a nice opening for the Allies. The AFL Academy just lacking the clinical execution inside 50, although here's an opportunity. Slipped through the fingers of Aidan Johnson. And coming clear there was Dawson, although his kick partially smothered. Pouncing there for the AFL Academy. First blood was Balek, and he kicked the goal from 30.
Yeah, great play by Archie. Again, Shifter, just that ability to be able to step in and almost pinch the ball there to win it back for his team.
Well, speed of decision-making and execution there from Archie, wasn't it? Very, very quick. Sets up Balek. Balek's a boy that's just been added to the academy in the last month or so as the intakes have been adjusted. Boys can be in the academy now for 2 years, over a 2-year period, through their 16th year and through their chosen in their 16th year and chosen in their 17th year. So he's been added, and this will be his first experience of playing with these young fellas.
Howard flew early in the ruck. Umpire said no free kick there. Ball's hacked towards the half-forward line for the AFL Academy. Well done by the big man Davis for the Allies. More on him in a little while, but a chance for Matheson. Trapped it. Broadcast side wing. Sullivan looping handball to O'Kearney. The boys' centres had it on a string. They work it forward, although not the best of options there. Free kick going the way of the Allies and coming back to Mattingly.
Called a block, just didn't allow him to have good use of the ball. Defensive pressure is important as well. I thought Aidan Johnson's pressure down there as a forward was very, very important in that goal being set up.
Yeah, certainly was, Plough. Some might remember from the AFL Footy Show a high-flying mark for Scotch College down at Geelong College. Real live wire, can fly. Plenty of X factor in Aidan Johnson. Ball's kicked forward. No mark taken there, Curnow. Davis, really good agility for a big man. Chance for Archie. Just fumbled that crucial first stage. Did well to win it back. Matheson's also been busy, although his handball affected by that tackle. And turnover ensues. In the end, Coghlan did well. In fact, it was Howard. Davis pressured, coughed up the footy. Chance on the rebound. O'Kearney spots a target in Curnow inside 50, and going back, he takes a nice mark.
Well, you mentioned the amount of the ball that O'Kearney's had. I mean, he's up to 13 possessions now, 11 of those kicks. So gets the ball on the outside and actually damages with his ball use. They're just starting to settle down into this game now and play some really good footy, the Academy boys.
Kearney's a boy from the Calder Cannon, so last weekend was playing in the TAC Cup final. Had a fantastic year as a bottom age player as well. Averaged 26 disposals a game. 5 clearances, 5 tackles, so can play inside and outside.
For 2 in a row, Curnow delivers. And the NAB AFL Academy back within a kick. They're 2-2-14, as you can see. The Allies 3-1-19. And we've got a ball game.
Well, not really so surprising. As I mentioned, it was 9 inside 50s to 6 at quarter time in the Academy's favour. It was just that they couldn't find a way through. I thought as the game started to open up, their kicking ability would start to find targets. And that's the way that it's starting to play out at the moment.
It seems, as Kevin said off the top, that they might be able to outrun. The work in tight is where the Allies seem to have had the advantage so far. But we'll wait and see how this game continues to unfold. Once again, O'Kearney in tight. Did really well. Matheson clever over the top. And here they go once again. Guess who? O'Kearney inside 50. This kick not his best. It was a really good grab at the end by Jackson. And he can relieve some pressure.
Geez, that's some footy, O'Kearney.
How many is he up to now?
17.
13 kicks.
And we're 4 minutes into the second term, which is quite remarkable given that we're playing 20-minute quarters. 24 minutes of footy. He's had 17 disposals.
Nearly got it again.
Almost was clobbered. Here goes Weller. Highly rated youngster from Queensland. Up and under ball. 3-on-1 in the end. Bruce managed to neutralise it well. Ball spills free. Hodgson sees an option inside 50. Kick was really good in the end. He saw the defender was out positioned and in the end, great delivery, found Steele, 30 from home on a very slight angle.
Well, that's the thing, Shifter. When they're going forward, they're finding a way through virtually every time inside that forward 50 mark.
And Steele's one of a number of All-Australian from under 18 level this year. He's a boy from Belconnen there up in the ACT. Had a fantastic year in his 90s. He's a 19-year-old. And he'd missed a fair bit of footy in his 17th and 18th year, so couldn't get his body together. Has finally got it together this year and shown some great ability. So he's a Giants Academy boy, so he's one that may well end up in the bidding process, which we'll talk about fairly shortly.
Well, it was smart play then by Steele. I mean, he worked his way down, playing on a wing, worked his way down. The ball was on the opposite side of the ground, so he just read it coming down the southern side, allowed the forwards to have their movement, and then came in behind the forwards, which is exactly the way that you want to see a wingman move, and then just sort of timed his run beautifully inside that forward 50.
Well, he was New South Wales and ACT's MVP at the National Championships. 21 disposals at an average of 79% efficiency. Suggests he's got a future, and he won All-Australian honours, Kev.
Yeah, just to clarify, he's not actually 19 yet. When I say a 19-year-old, he turns 19 in the calendar year, and he's not 19 until December, so a late birth.
Yeah.
And that's why he certainly deserved to be played. Given the injuries and the late birth, that's why he played in the National 18s.
Here's Keys inside 50. It went over the back, and a chance for Agus. Beaten by the goal line and through for a minor score. So 4-1-25 plays 2-3-15. And Kev, just talking about the Giants Academy, the Sydney Academy. We'll talk more about that bidding process in just a tick, because the Allies build with purpose.
Right.
And here they go. Jones through the centre, delivers inside 50. No mark taken, although Coughlin's second efforts have been exemplary today. In the end, ball spills free. Good pressure by the NAB AFL Academy. Ball inside 50 for the Allies. Chance for Coughlin. Ducked his head, tried to work his way through a tight space. Jones was just about pushed. Umpire said nothing doing. But a nice transition, boys.
Yeah, look, Allies again, 7 inside 50s. That was 8. They're 8 to 13. So they've been very, very efficient when they've got the ball in there.
Jones the quick kick, smothered by Skinner. He kicks out towards his broadcast side. Ballick, who kicked a goal early in this term, shown really good evasive skills and agility, though his decision on that occasion was poor, holding the ball. In fact, a holding free kick, I think, is going his way.
Very lucky. Well, look, he took them on, but when he bounced the footy,
Yes,
I mean, he
still
lost,
in possession.
yeah, and he lost control of the bounce as well. So he just tried to squeeze him through a hole that really wasn't open.
Here's Parsons, delivers down the line.
Oh,
Oh, solid contact. Going back courageously was Johnson. And in the end, he bounces up, and the man who clobbered into him in Austin is the one who's worse for wear.
Yeah, he just come down very hard when he hit the ground. So contact with the player ended up not being too bad, but contact with the ground was a little bit worse for the young man.
As we see on the replay.
Love the work of Aidan Johnson to back in,
yeah.
because he would have heard, well, I suppose the pack coming.
The old
that
footsteps.
occasion, the footsteps, but did not flinch 1 inch. Courageously went back and thoroughly deserved then the free kick.
That was good. That was
Landed
good play.
in the lap of Curnow, bounced off his chest. He was a little bit surprised that it found its way there. So ball to be tossed back in. AFL Academy into attack. Chance to keep peppering the goals. Although on this occasion, ball locked up.
Good contest at the moment. There's not much between the two sides. The efficiency ratings going with the Allies, but I think Academy boys playing good as well.
Curnow, the ruck work and the roving. Here's a chance. Sushams couldn't get boot to ball, but tell you who could, that was Argus. He kicked the goal from point blank range. 3-3-21 they moved to the AFL Academy. The Allies 4-1-25, and it's just hammer and tong at this point in time.
Yeah, well, it was just good follow-up work, wasn't it? They just forced the ball forward, the Academy boys, and eventually just got a boot to ball right on the goal line.
So, Kevin, that bidding process that we were going to start talking about, it takes place next week. There's been so much discussion about the leg up given to the sides from the northern states. Tell our viewers how that's actually going to work.
Yes, so in the Allies side today, there are 19 of the players that next week will go to the draft combine, and that be tested and observed for 4 days by the 18 AFL clubs. By the Friday, the 4 clubs up north, the 4 clubs in AFL clubs in Queensland and New South Wales need to nominate those that they want to consider to put on their primary list. And in other words, put them up for the bid the following Monday, 3 days later. So we'd expect there might be 6 or 8 of the 19 out here today that might be put up for bid, where the other clubs decide on their market value. The way that works is a call of the draft, and you might, as a club, and it goes from bottom club up to the 18th club, you might choose to pass. Eventually, at one point, someone will call the player's name. The club that has that player in their academy then must use their next choice to claim that player. Otherwise, he goes to the club that has bid for him. No different to the father-son rule. So that will occur on the same day, the father-son rule. We'd expect 10 or a dozen players, including the father-sons and the academy players, to be in that special draft, which will be on the 6th of October. So that's Monday week, not that far away. That's why these boys are presenting fairly well here today, the boys from the Allies. They see this as their chance to really present their final case as a player in the game to the AFL clubs. We're all here having a good look today.
And you'll have full draft coverage, trade coverage as well on afl.com.au. Kel Toomey live at the Combine. Terry Wallace and myself involved in trade radio, kicking off on Monday as Hodgson delivers forward. And good mark in the end taken by Howard. Just got separation and kicks now inside 50. Sat it on the head of his teammate there, but he was good enough to take the mark, and that was Steele once again.
Doesn't he like to push forward? I like that in a wingman. I've got no issue with that whatsoever. He times his run, judges his run, will work defensively, but then pushes himself down into a forward position as well.
Terry Wallace providing expert comments alongside Kevin Sheehan. My name's Tristan Fernanda, bringing you all the action from the MCG on this picture-perfect grand final day. Steele, for his second, leans back and pushes it right. So minor score makes the margin 5 points in favour of the Allies. As you can see, 4-2-26 playing 3-3-21, 11 and a half into this second term. And we're playing 20-minute quarters if you've just joined us. So ball kicked in the Sullivan direction, had the height advantage. Well done over the top by Weller to bring it to ground. Here's a chance to cock it too. He was just about decapitated. Came inboard, his handball too slick there for Hodgson, who fumbled, but then copped a push. So picks himself up. The Academy boys push numbers back feverishly. He kicks to the hot spot. Davis, one bite, no mark paid. All there. Just sharked by Francis, went looking for his teammate there in Dunkley. He followed up really well, did Francis, but couldn't regain possession. Howard tackled as he got rid of it. Fortuitously for the Allies, bounces inside the field of play before trickling over.
A nice size Howard as well, isn't he?
Oh yeah, we talked of his versatility earlier too, and I'd seen him play mainly in defence, but he's been impressive forward today.
195 centimetres, gee, nice size.
Sullivan tackled, couldn't get ball to boot. Here's Davis, tried to rake it in, then knew he had to just keep it rolling forward. Dunkley over the top of it. Umpire on the scene quickly.
A female umpire out there today too, Shifter.
And it was fantastic to see.
During the week.
Yes. Yeah. The 2 girls have been added to the umpire's rookie list.
Nice goal.
It was in the end, out the back. Fantastic snap. And Coughlin's really showing that he can play football. And let's just focus on him because he's about 6'4" in the old, 193, 84 kilos, and a September 96 birthday. What can you tell us, Kev?
Well, he's just a smart player. He reads the ball in flight so well, presents in front so often. He's had frustrations this year with a foot injury. It's not given him the continuity he would have loved to have had. He's a boy that, well, he played extremely well last year for the Australian under-17s over in New Zealand, a guy that really showed his great natural talent. So maybe just that foot settled down. He's finally getting his game together, but he's been impressive today.
Matheson, the clearance for the AFL Academy. Good play, Argus. Showed twinkle toes, laid it back. Fit of the fumbles there from Wiedemann. The crucial stage. In the end, Johnson came clear. Quick shot at goals wide. Pete Shackey towards the boundary line. Ball out of play down that punt road end.
And just that last goal by Coughlin, it was Hodgson's work out of the stoppage again that actually won possession of the ball and fed it out to Coughlin, which set it up there. So it was a goal assist from Hodgson.
So ball tossed back in. Cocker 2, third man up. Dunkley, snap round the corner. Narrowly misses. As we see Brad Johnson boundary side. taking control of the AFL Academy, and he's been a fantastic acquisition. Tell us about the coaching staff that these Academy boys have to work with, Kev.
Yeah, you can see Glenn Jakovich down there as well with Brad Johnson. Matthew Lloyd is also a specialist coach, as is Brad Otten, so they get the best of the best. They're overseen by Mick Ablett, who's our Academy's development manager. He's in charge of the program, so they get great instruction. The Academy boys would be in together about 40 days a year. A camps-based program, so they come from every state and territory of Australia, and this is the thrill that they get to play on the MCG, represent their country, and also they in January will head across to the US for a pre-season camp. So plenty of exciting times ahead for these boys.
Jones did well, worked his way through the centre. Unfortunately, his kick let him down.
Good work from McGuinness going through the middle of the ground there as well.
As it comes out towards his broadcast side, Keys marks. He's a lively player, looked really bright in the National Championships. Picked a fantastic goal that many remember. Went the check side. We'll talk more about that later because Weller just showing a glimpse of brilliance. His kick slightly wobbly on this occasion. Crocker did well to defend for the Academy. Ball out the back now. He got the kick forward. Outer side, McDonald in time, with time and space I should say. Just tumbles it forward, Partington onto his left, kicks towards Shack. He has to stand, put his hands up, couldn't mark. In the end, coming clear his lot, no 15, but followed up well to receive. Got around the would-be tackle there of Sushams. Came out wider, full of running here, the Allies. They're probably lifted a notch since being challenged. They move inside forward 50. No mark taken on that occasion. In the end, Francis read it really well. Spread play towards Wiedering. He gathered. Chip short now. Eads, left half forward. Eads, as you like, through to the big mitts of Shackey. And the big man in a decent position to kick his first goal of the morning.
Like Eads, Shifter, he's a very classy player.
Yeah, boy from Swan Districts in WA. He's in fact relocated over to the North Ballarat Rebels here in Victoria. Goes to St Pat's. And he's been very quick and classy, great with his execution on a couple of occasions this quarter.
Well, fair school to play a footy at as well.
He kicks from 45, Shackey, once again across the face of goal. So 2 set shots for 2 behinds, and the margin 9 points. 3-5-23 the Academy, 5-2-32 the Allies, who waste no time bringing it back into play. Penetrating ball found Mattingly, and Bruce sneaks onto the ground, the big man. He's got runners breaking for him. Kick wasn't great, but still found its way to foot. He looks up ahead. No real space. Numbers with the Academy boys. Well done on that occasion by Mills. Courageously got a fist in. Crocker now at half back. Daring kick. Didn't pay off in the end. Chance now for the Allies. Andrews lays it back. Heaney over the top to Davis, and he'll mark.
Well, Crocker just made a mistake going across goals on that occasion. Thought he played pretty well in the grand final last week. Thought he was a very good player in the TAC Cup grand final across half-backs. Been pretty good in the early part of this game, but just bit off too much on that occasion.
Well, Davis has pushed forward. You spoke about his versatility earlier, Kev. And now showing his wares as a key forward. Shouldn't make a mistake from here, and for all the Academy's hard work, they find themselves most likely 15 points down at half-time as Davis delivers.
He's a likely prospect, isn't he? Shape, type. Look, he could even play midfield, this young fellow at 193 centimetres, 6'4" boy, both ends of the ground. He's got great running capacity, strongly built already for a boy that is just in his 18th year. Showed out for certainly the New South Wales ACT and National Championships this year. Has had the benefit of playing Northeast AFL for the Sydney Swans as well. So they've had a good look at him, and he'd be a likely bidding prospect for about 10 days' time.
Heaney, very, very classy, isn't he? Just good ball use once again on that occasion.
And here he's on cue. What about the improvisation to get that handball backwards? On his side, the turnover. The Academy boys with numbers. Here's Crocker, last line. Kept a cool head, and in the end they work it well. Stewart, haven't called his name all that often this morning. They work it well out towards Clark, right half back. Partington fumbled. The Allies have to get rid of it. That's a good tackle. perhaps one last roll of the dice. 30 seconds and counting here for the Academy boys. Ben Keys tucks it under his arm, then runs through the centre, delivers well towards half forward, and Ballick at the paint of 50 took a decent mark. He's got Curnow leading further afield. He sits it up, likes to go to a smaller option. It was Archie he wanted. Using the body well was Dawson, and that'll be just about all she wrote as we tick down 10 seconds and counting towards half-time.
Mark.
Was a great mark, maybe not, although it'll require a decent roost of the football from Josh Dunkley. And Swans fans watching on would hope that he kicks the ball a little bit better than his old man, Kev, but do you fancy his chances?
I give him a chance. I mean, Andrew was, well, team of the century for the Sydney Swans as a defender, and was an ungainly looking kick, but a very effective one, and a great player for the Swans.
Very well put.
Whoops.
And
that
not
was one
Josh,
of Dad's kicks, I think.
Not one of Josh's best efforts either. So a 15-point lead at half-time. The Allies 6-2-38. The AFL Academy 3-5-23. We'll take this opportunity for a quick break. We're under 4 hours till the bounce of the ball in the 2014 AFL Grand Final.